Draymond Green didn't receive a technical foul Game 3 on Wednesday night, but maybe he should have. Now, when he gets one, the Dubs usually win, feeling off that energy that comes along with that skill set. But Green finished with just 2 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and 6 fouls, plus minus of negative 13. He'll have to be better in order for Golden State to avoid a 3-1 series hole and instead try to tie these NBA Finals at 2 apiece going back to the Chase Center. But it's not all his fault. Steph Curry's really been the only standout in all 3 games for Dub Nation. We know Jordan Poole popped in Game 2, Klay Thompson in Game 3, but each guy has struggled for most stretches of these finals. And when the Warriors come out hot in the third, we know that, but the fourth has been a problem for them, especially in their 2 losses. All right, to get us ready for tonight's Game 4, we've got Avery Johnson here on CBS Sports HQ. So let's focus on the Warriors here because they're in a series hole, Coach. What do you do with Draymond Green if you're Steve Kerr? What needs to be better from one of your best players and arguably a future Hall of Famer?
Well, first of all, Tommy, you almost gave me a headache because you reminded me of my 2016 that only scored 7 points in the fourth quarter against the Heat. But let's get back on topic. Draymond Green, he's got to do less talking and more playing. He's got to worry more about the players on the other team than jumping on his podcast before or after the game. You know, this is a guy, you got to score more than 2 points. Draymond Green should have a 1 in front of that 2. He's got to go for around 12 points, 8 assists, 8 rebounds, take care of the basketball. He's got to play extraordinary defense. Basically, Jaylen Brown punished him on the defensive end. And, you know, just some of his decision-making on offense, like right here, that's not his game. He's got a shot fake, drive the ball to the basket, but he's got to do less talking and give you more productivity on the court. Stop messing around with the referees and be laser focused on what his job is, which is to fill up the stat sheet, even at a lower level, 12 points, 8 points, 7, 8 rebounds, 6, 7, 8 assists, 2 steals. And if not, then you're going to have to bench him because he's not even looking at the basket in a lot of situations, which puts an enormous amount of stress on the Warriors offense.
You're right. No one's asking him to drop 20, but if he can't get to maybe at least 10, then you're doing 3 versus 5 on offense for the Warriors, and that puts a lot of strain on Steph Curry, which I mentioned he's been carrying this team with the scoring load the first 3 games here so far. Let's assume that ankle is okay, and Steph says he's going to go tonight and everything's going to be fine, but how do you handle Steph? What do you think about Steph when it comes to Steve Kerr?
Well, 2 things with Steph. Number 1, if he's healthy and he's ready to go and there's no limitations, he's got to play 46 minutes. This idea that he needs these 3 or 4 minute bursts, that he's got to rest, no. And then you have to protect him on defense. There were too many times where he was in a one-on-one defensive situation against Marcus Smart with no help. The help was still in San Francisco. You got to provide him some help if he's getting posted up on drives. You got to make Marcus Smart in some of those situations a passer and not just a scorer, and keep Steph Curry out of foul trouble. Those 2 quick fouls in early part of the first quarter, and then his 4th foul, which was a bad foul. I think he had a little bit of a breakdown there. They got to do a better job of protecting him so he can play 46 minutes and have an opportunity to go for more than 32 points or 30 points and potentially start getting in that 40-point range because they're going to need it, especially if Draymond Green is only going to give you 2 or 4 points.
All right, so Boston's up 2-1 in this series. It could be 3-0 if they played a little bit better pick-and-roll defense in guarding Steph Curry. So how do you tell your bigs, like a Robert Williams, like a Daniel Tice, like an Al Horford, to not sit back, which they've done now through the first 3 games of the series, Coach?
Yeah, you're right. Here's a little pick-and-roll education. The bigs, Horford and Williams, they're worried too much about the pocket. They're worried about the pocket pass to the bigs. They're worried about the roll. No, you have to be up the line. Right here, Al Horford's out of position. Okay, he needs to be above the three-point line. Robert Williams, you're still not above the three-point line. You're too low, and that gives Steph Curry too much room to dance. Here, Horford, look at Horford. He's almost by the free throw line. Where are you? He's not even in the picture. I think he was eating clam chowder somewhere in Boston on that play at one of my favorite seafood restaurants. So again, they have to be up the line, not down the line. And if you're up the line in that pocket, in that window or that danger zone, you'll do a better job of limiting Steph Curry's success and maybe force him to drive the ball to the basket. They only had 28 points in the paint. The Celtics had 52. So maybe take away some of those three-point looks, which is going to be more beneficial for the Celtics defense.
All right, we'll see if Ime Udoka sees those adjustments on the court at TD Garden. All right, get you out of here on this. Warriors are catching 4, the total at 214. Are we going to be 3-1 or 2-2 after tonight?
I believe we're going to be 2-2. Just when I think one of these teams are going to be consistent, they're inconsistent. So, again, give the Warriors credit. They have the experience. This is a must-win. It's going to be a serious mountain to climb if they go down 3-1. So maybe Draymond plays better. Somebody off the bench who hasn't played a lot in this series come off the bench, give you 10 points. Gary Payton II, maybe, he'll have a big game. Klay Thompson goes off. Boston turns the ball over and gets back to the way they play when they lose games. They only had 12 turnovers in games in that game 3. So again, let's give the Warriors credit that they have a lot of pride. They'll make the necessary adjustments and bounce back tonight.
People talk about the Celtics bouncing back from the loss. The Warriors have also been very good in this scenario in the postseason. Thank you, Avery.
Okay, thanks.
All right, time for the early bird special. The line is 4, but Sportsline giving you a money line play. Taking the Celtics minus $1.70. That does go up against Avery Johnson's selection, but again, taking it $1.70. All the C's need to do is win, and you cash your ticket. All right, we do have a prop play today for you if you do want to back a Golden State player or incense the team. That would be Klay Thompson over 3.5 total three-pointers made. Klay, of course, bouncing back for his best game of the series so far through 3 in Game 3. So again, 4 or more threes for Klay tonight. And lastly for you here, we got College World Series out at Omaha. Total Super Regional games versus Ole Miss and Southern Miss. The play is over 2.5 at a modest minus $1.40.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.